Welcome to Expresso Con ciência, the podcast that connects cutting-edge science and innovation with practical market solutions. We are excited to launch the brand new special series, Challenges and Opportunities in Sustainability in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. So in this series, we'll be sharing an Expresso with leading European voices in sustainability, exploring how AI is reshaping industries, business models, and climate action. So I am Liliane, environmental engineer, a sustainability strategist and founder of Smart Cycle. At Smart Cycle, we help companies in Brazil and Europe to save time, money, and natural resources through the practical application of artificial intelligence. So I do this by offering workshops and trainings programs that empower teams to make smarter, more efficient, and more sustainable decisions. And today is a very special moment because we are opening this European series with a remarkable guest joining us directly from France. So it's Fabien Cros. Fabien stands at the crossroads of data, AI, sustainability, and business transformation. As data and AI country lead for manufacture at Google Cloud, he has been instrumental in driving data-driven strategies that create real business value. So beyond this corporate role, Fabien is also co-founder of PricingForThePlanet and author of the book Pricing and Monetizing Sustainability. So beyond good intentions. He also hosts the Pricing for the Planet podcast, where he explores how companies can turn sustainability into actionable and profitable strategies. So, Fabien, it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Liliane. Glad to be here.
So, recent studies from Boston Consultant Group and Google show that artificial intelligence has this potential of mitigators, some percentages of global greenhouse gas emissions. You know how that can conduct like this conversation about AI?
No, absolutely. So I think the exact number it's 10%. So we believe, when I say we, it's Google and BCG, we believe that we can address 10% of the global greenhouse gas emission using AI, and it's really around like three buckets. The first one is like AI is helping companies to create the baselines. We understand, how much energy are we using, how much emission are we emitting. So that's super important. And way too many companies, they don't know. So it's super important to start with a baseline. Second bucket, it's really about like optimizing those baseline. It's like optimizing those numbers, forecasting capabilities, optimization capabilities. So it's really helping companies to decrease those emissions, those wastes, those energy consumption. And the third bucket, which I think that's where we'll spend most of our time to discuss today, it's really about the new options, new opportunity that AI is bringing to the world of sustainability.
Yeah, it's not about reducing numbers on chart. No, it plays like complementary roles. Can you tell about these roles?
Yeah, I mean, I think this role, it's like you need to understand that those AI tools, I think they were the missing pieces for a lot of like ideas that we had in the sustainability world, a lot of like great idea. We talked a lot about circularity. We talked a lot about new business models. I think it was impossible without the right technology and the right tools to achieve those new business models and those transformations. So for me, that's really the key role of AI. And to be very pragmatic, one example that we can describe it's Decathlon, the sport goods. They launched their circular economy program, but the biggest problem it's like it sounds great on paper, but like how do you calculate the prices of the product that you are buying back, and how do you create the prices of those products that you are selling back to the market? That's something that we work with Pricing for the Planet and Decathlon, and we have an episode about that on the podcast where we really explain like the value of like AI, which is really kind of like a forecasting capabilities to anticipate the price of a product in like 2 months, 3 months. So that way you can really define what is the right price to buy back this product and what is the price that you will sell this product. So it's really a mix of like forecasting. It's there. You have a big data platform in the background. There is a lot of like optimization calculation as well. So that's for me, that's really the true value of AI. It's like giving Decathlon the opportunity to really create like a full program around circularity, because without this technology, like you cannot do it on a paper or just like ask the salespeople in the stores to come up with the right price and the right buyback, number.
Let's dive into our conversation. Like Fabien, adopting AI for sustainability is not only a technology challenge, but also a leadership one. So, in your view, what traits distinguish leaders who successfully transform their business models with AI from those who remain stuck in pilots or isolated initiatives?
I think that's for me two points. I think the first one is, I think the one winning are the one that are not doing AI to do AI. I think it's recipe for failure. So many companies are doing AI because it's cool. I've been in this business for like 13 years, and nobody wanted to talk about AI at 10 years ago. So I think that's really like just like considering that AI is actually a new tool in your toolbox. I think that's really kind of like point number one. And I think point number two, it's about monetization. I think again, like AI for sustainability using AI will never work if you don't really think about monetization. So those leaders, even if it's something that is usually painful because people in sustainability, they are not big fans of like economic calculation, pricing, monetization. Unfortunately, this is kind of that's a big missing piece of the puzzle. And that's the most important key, because if you don't understand how to monetize sustainability, you won't be able to fund it, and you won't be able to sustain your programs.
Yeah, and actually, sustainability is also a good strategy, right?
Yeah.
If you can do it right, it's a good strategy for reduce costs. So it brings us to a critical tension, no, many executives face, but actually, like many leaders, still hesitated to embrace AI due to the data protection or ethical concerns. So, how can company balance sustainable innovation with the responsibility to safeguard its strategic information?
And so I got this question a lot, and that's a very annoying question because it makes no sense. Like it just spend enough time to understand, how AI is working, how data is working. And I mean, like when I was at Google, we work with company like Thales, like Renault, like those big companies. So like it's completely feasible to have like a data platform, an AI platform that is 100% secure, 100% regulated. So now like all the tools are already available to do it in the right way. So honestly, it's like, if you're stuck at this stage, it's like just, ask the right people to explain to you, how it's working, because, you just embed AI into your own IT infrastructure. So if your IT infrastructure is secure, your AI and your data platform is secure as well.
Of course, like scaling AI is not just about data and ethics. It's about breaking silos and redesign process. So, what leadership roadmap would you suggest for companies aiming to scale AI in ways that drive efficiency, like reduce environmental impact and create a competitive advantage?
Yeah, and I love your question, because I think a lot of leaders are starting the roadmap by doing what you described. Like they are looking for efficiency, they are looking for impact reduction, they are looking for competitive advantage, and they are completely missing the client vision. So I think what we are writing in the book, and what we are doing with Pricing for the Planet, it's really like we try to explain that they need to go back to the client to understand the client view. Because honestly, I don't know, you have a company and you want to have an impact on like whatever, like emissions or like waste. I would say 90% of the case, clients, they either don't care or they're not ready to pay for it. So it's like you are completely missing the picture. So for me, it's really like, start by understanding your clients, what they want, how much are they ready to pay for it. And then, so there is a concept that we work with BCG. BCG was a partner of Pricing for the Planet, and we did something together about like green premium, what we call quandary, which is really kind of like instead of thinking, oh, I have like a segment of people that are green aware and we will charge 20%, we really kind of like deep dive in this bucket to understand like, is it like just one big group or is it a lot of small groups? And we realize that inside this kind of like green premium, you have a lot of different situations. You have like really like green consciousness people that are ready to pay actually more than 50, 100%. And then you have another bucket, which is kind of like a green, like they are like convinced that is important and they're ready to pay 20, 30% more. And then you have like people that think it's important, but they're not ready to pay more than 10%. But just by, splitting those different like segments, you can extract so much value that it will actually pay for your sustainability efforts. Where most of the companies are, oh, I have a green product, it will be a 20% premium, and then nobody's buying because actually the packaging around this offer, it's not well done because it's like you're trying to talk to three different personas with the same language. So you completely repulse kind of like the people crazy about sustainability that are ready to pay, twice the price. They're like, it's 20%, it's probably greenwashing. And then the people that are, kind of convinced, they are like, yeah, same thing. It's like, I don't understand, I don't really believe what you like the claim that you are putting on your product, on your service. So it's really about quantifying this green premium and there is a lot of it's funny because there is a lot of ways of doing that. It's like conjoint analysis, Gabor Granger, von Verstandrup. So there is a lot of methodologies to apply to really quantify and come up with the right kind of like quantification of the green premium.
Yeah, and sometimes it comes down to leadership being a decisive factor. Could you share a case where leadership was the turning point in Move AI and sustainability from just a presentation into a real operation and value chain impact?
Yes, so I think I'm a big fan of Decathlon, the sport goods, and again, so think about they are using AI actually to make their circular business model a reality. So everybody's talking about circular model, but the reality is when you create one, you need to have like technology to actually come up with the right buyback price and the right resale price. And it's extremely difficult because it's a volatile market. It's very hard to kind of like quantify the price in like 3, 4, 6 months. So typically Decathlon is using kind of like a data-driven pricing optimization model, which is mixing kind of like forecasting and actually data collection, which is really aiming at at a time T0, you are able actually to anticipate the price of this exact product that you are buying back in like 3 to 4 months, which is really a way to actually recalculate the buyback price. So the only way to make this business model a reality was to use AI and to embed AI into the model. Same thing, there is a concept called wash pass, sorry, from hire, which is really kind of like washing machine at the service. And same thing, the good thing about AI, it's giving you the capability actually to do kind of like multi-criteria calculation. So you can really estimate the true cost of like a washing machine load. And same concept, like how do you price something like that when you own the entire value chain? And the only way to do it is by putting kind of like AI. So it's not generative AI, but it's like traditional discriminative AI that is kind of like linear programming where you are just optimizing the equation value.
That's a good example. And in your perspective, what types of leaders and business mindsets will be the most relevant over the next 5 years to make AI a true driver of sustainability?
I will come back to this monetization mindset. I think that's something that is really missing on the marketplace. It's funny. I did a podcast episode on this one about like really like we have a big AI gaps. Everybody thinking they are AI experts. This is purely bullshit because like those individuals are very rare on the marketplace. And then you combine this with like monetization experts. Right now we have a huge gap on the marketplace. Very few people understand monetization and pricing. The problem is if we really want to scale sustainability will require AI as we just discussed, and it will come with a cost. So if you don't understand like how you create like margin from those business model will never work. So I think again the silver bullet is to understand like the monetization strategy, the pricing strategy of your sustainability model, and to embed AI inside of that. But without this monetization piece, you can have fun on AI. I think it will be pointless.
Yeah, Fabien, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your insights today. Your work shows that sustainability and I are not just buzzwords, they are real, measurable pathways to business value and impact. So I let you to say some final words if you want.
No, I mean, thanks, Liliane, for inviting me, and like, congrats on what you are doing, and keep pushing.
Yeah, exactly. And to our listeners, if you are a sustainable leader, entrepreneur, or corporate decision maker curious about how AI can help your company gain efficient, reduce risks, and stay competitive, I'd like to invite you to join exclusive workshop. It's designed to equip teams with practical tools to apply AI for smarter and more sustainable decision making. So the link for registration and all details, it's available in the description of this episode and also on my social media. So, and if you enjoy conversations like this, share this episode with someone you'd love to exchange ideas with, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. So see you next time.